Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So far in this series, TM have looked good in both games, and it's currently tied up 1-1 against Legacy, and we're going to Game 3.
I mean, and let's just think about that for a minute. This team that has got 2 rookie players, Only's only had half a split himself, and has been together for 3 weeks, is absolutely popping off. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, they probably should have 2-0'd. I mean, Game 1, they were in the driver's seat versus Legacy. They had all the priority, and then they dropped a couple of plays. Against Sin, they were up 2,000 gold during the mid-game as well. TM are playing well.
And I mean, like, that's a good position to be in, right? When you're the one being ahead early, and then you just need to clean it up rather than being like, okay, like, why are we just losing every early game? Tally's defeated. Look at this.
I lost my Lucian game. I'm never getting it again.
Oh my god.
Lucho gave me a winning matchup, and I lost.
Back to Galio duty. But
gets Galio this game.
Yeah, TM are getting themselves in good positions, and they just need to clean it up rather than make any major changes, and they will see significant improvement, and they'll stop throwing these games, right?
Now we get to see if No Clue is actual real, because Carbon's been banned here.
And also the Zac, so we're going to see him run a completely new jungler. I expect it's going to be Lee Sin. Or potentially Kha'Zix. I would really not like to see the Ivan against Only.
Yeah, I feel like
he doesn't default to it.
Yeah, he would just get bullied around by Only.
No Xayah ban here coming out from TM, so Lost Champion is up and available. Let's see if Legacy decide to ban out at least, or leave that open so they can pick Xayah themselves.
Not giving too much away. What's the Xayah counter at the moment? Is it just Kate? Range beats the no range?
Yeah, Kate and like a Braum for the Xayah feathers, I think, something like that. So there's the first pick for TM. That's pretty...
That's bold.
That's bold with a Caitlyn up, I think. If Legacy answered with like a Caitlyn Braum, I think there's almost nothing. Well, you would just answer with Caitlyn. You wouldn't take the Braum immediately. And if they chose for the Rakan, you would take the Braum later.
First thing they do is prioritize the Lee Sin pick for Carbon.
Smart choice.
Does he play the Rakan?
T-Gun?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he had some pretty... He was pretty adamant with his opinions on whether, like,
he was very vocal
that I was wrong taking coin.
He was very vocal about it.
So I hope he can play it. Otherwise, he's just like screaming baseless accusations.
Mate, I can't play any champion, and I am vocal in all the opinions I have in the world.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can speak to me about Garen. you can have that one. I'll let you have the Garen, but nothing else. No. And I think Legacy sticking with the Thresh ban. I feel like at this point it's kind of having to ban Thresh every single game is kind of becoming a burden for them. Like it really doesn't leave a lot of room to move, especially on red side when you have to ban things like, well, TM banned the Galio in this situation, but you have to ban the Zac, you have to ban the Elise. So like all the OPs, the red side has to ban, and not having room to move with your third option is kind of rough.
I like the early game coming out of TM, however. Xayah is a good lane bully if you have her in the right situations. And Rek'Sai at the moment is incredibly strong in the early game.
Not into Caitlyn, though. I feel like Xayah, there's no way that Xayah lane should bully around a Caitlyn. That Lulu, I'm hoping it's a flex, and I feel like that Karma is a flex there for Legacy as well. Yep. Legacy are more likely to show it first in their next pick, though.
Yep.
They probably will go towards bans at Praetor top side of the map. We have another Rek'Sai pick, as you've mentioned, Spawn, and that's over Gragas, which is still left up and available.
Fiora has to be banned right now. The big reason it has to be banned is they've shown what their counter pick is. And unfortunately for Tally, it did well in lane, but then the later the game went, the more in control Praetor looked. Apparently, he still thinks it's a very good counter pick. I feel like he wants to leave it up.
Yeah, I feel like Legacy have to ban the Rakan. Otherwise, they're just not giving... They're not giving respect to the Lulu flex. I feel like banning the Rakan seems like a no-brainer, but they've opted in to the Camille ban. I feel like you would ban Rakan first, and then your second ban would be something like a Camille. But interesting.
Taliyah is the first ban from TM here, so let's see if Legacy go for that Rakan ban or if they go for the Fiora ban instead.
And the more I think about it, the more that TM just don't want to play against Taliyah. It has absolutely nothing to do with that it's Claire. It's just the fact that side wave pressure is how they win games time and time again. And if you have a Taliyah in the game, it's nearly impossible to do.
It's very easy to just rotate to, yeah.
Yep.
That's been all 3 games in a row they've banned Taliyah in the second phase.
Yep.
Double ban towards Praetor as well. He's going to play a completely new champion for Game 3. Let's see what other split pusher he has up his sleeve. Really good teleports from Praetor this week, though.
Also, his team fought relatively well in both games. Game 1, he went too deep on the Camille a couple of times, but Game 2 was there when he needed to be.
And I think the big thing is that he's actually team fought. Praetor was the player that would just TP back to lane, TP back to the side lane, and just never leave, really. So it seems like TM are really coming together, like as a cohesive unit behind the man you see on your screen.
I mean, if they're going to play
Johnny,
if they're going to play so heavily around Praetor, that makes sense that he knows when at the times he has to assist his team.
It needs to go both ways. Like the 4 can't always just play for the 1. The 1 sometimes has to group with the 4. to get the advantages that they need. And that is the Gragas.
Lucian ban is the final ban coming out from TM, and Gragas locked in for Tally topside.
Jarvan is up.
I feel like Jarvan's not a good matchup. He can just cancel. Like, you can never EQ onto a Gragas. He can just bop you with it.
But Gragas can no longer wave clear against him.
He doesn't get rings
Doran's
anymore.
ring stack.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely destroyed this matchup, in my opinion.
Okay.
So it is the Jarvan lock-in for Praetor.
And is it the Lulu Flex? Is the question we will be receiving the answer to in 20 seconds.
We get a shock Orianna mid lane.
As far as T-Gun goes, he doesn't seem like the biggest Lulu player to me in the world.
Yeah. And I feel like Legacy have almost okay, if he does play Rakan, Legacy have almost disrespected him.
Got it.
By not banning it. And then they've gone with the Orianna.
I mean, it makes sense now because when you have a look at Jarvan and Orianna, their team fight is absolutely gross.
Yeah.
They've got the fact that they've got wild growth into Gargoyle, Stoneplate, and all the other weird and wacky interactions that are going to go down. Throw in a Locket of Iron Solari on top of it. No one's going to kill anyone.
Final pick from Legacy is going to be Victor in the mid lane for Claire.
I feel like it's just a wasted opportunity. Picking the Xayah early with the Caitlyn up means you absolutely get counter picks, and I feel like Kate Karma is going to have permanent push priority. Karma and Lulu are both supports that play through their AD carry, right? They're both not proactive in themselves. They play for their AD carry, and if Caitlyn just has such a big range advantage, it's so much easier for the Karma to do things.
Two of your favorite supports here, Egypt.
Yep. Yep. We'll let that one slide. No, they go all right. I think, yeah, I don't know. I've played a lot of Lulu in my time, but yeah, I think the Caitlyn Karma is definitely has the advantage in this matchup.
The thing I want to see is there the same set play on blue side of the map that TM run on red? Is there a play that he starts at blue buff or Gromp, pass down towards the lower side, tunnels underneath the wall, and actually can punish the push that's going to come out of Caitlyn Karma early? Because we've seen it on the red side every single time they're on the red side. But this time around, blue side is a really awkward path if you want to do that with Rek'Sai. And I feel like if he has one up his sleeve, if Johnny has created one of these sets plays, it will be good, but I don't actually know how that path would work.
Yeah, everyone talks about red side, Rek'Sai with the over-the-top tri-bush, right? So you can do the same thing bot, but yeah, as you were saying, it's really hard to get in there. I don't know, and I feel like ganking a bot lane like that, if they have summoners, is actually so hard as a Rek'Sai. Like, you're not going to get on them just naturally. Like, they're not just going to like walk into you sort of thing.
You have to be behind them, right?
You're going to have to be behind them, and then if you're not, you're going to have to burn the flash to get onto them, and then they have heal, they have exhaust. Actually, no, they don't have exhaust, they have ignite, because Cupcake's a man. And then they have the heal, they have gap closes.
Don't you assume his gender?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, like Caitlyn can net, and then Cupcake can root him. It feels so hard to gank a bot lane like that with both summoners, and I feel like it won't be that successful.
I'm just so excited to see if it exists. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to start blue. He shouldn't. I mean, Rek'Sai has one of the best Wraith clears in the game. If you can ever start Raptors, you probably should.
Oh, good dodge.
Look at this. Doesn't even need it.
He's in trouble. He's got a long way to go. Lost is trying to auto-attack his way away. He's got ignited, but that's after the heal. If they flash for that, that would have been a kill on Cupcake.
No!
Disaster.
Flordo! Goon needs to hit him with the Flordo. He would have died. He's level 1. His pot was ticking. He can't shield himself. Didn't have heal.
The Ignite was just a second late as well.
Yeah, they didn't ward the bush. If they warded the bush, they would have got the Ignite off before the heal.
Ward the bush, Ignite, kill him!
That should have been first blood, 100%.
All right, now I really want to see it. I actually want to see Rek'Sai path incredibly aggressively down there. I mean, I don't care if you bottom side clear and actually just get roasted on the top side of the map. This now should be a winning lane.
Good ward coming out from Claire, though. That will spot out the Raptor start.
It will, but it's not really going to tell them all that much after it because he's not going to walk back past it.
But a big thing about this flash being burnt, even if it only doesn't move towards bottom side of the map.
Unburrow start with no help.
Okay. This is curious.
Is that an accident?
He's going for the big Raptor here. Gets good damage on the small ones,
It feels slow though, right?
It does feel slow.
I mean, if we have a look at T-Gun Carbon, he's already cleared pretty much the whole... Actually, no, relatively same pace.
Carbon gets it first. He might have had some help from Victor as well. Only gets it shortly after. He's got full rage meter. He's going to be just fine going over towards the red buff.
Where is any pathway when you need him?
Yeah, what?
Spooks, tweet at us. Let us know whether that's actually the start that you go for.
I feel like that's not it. But I mean, he does have Burrow for the gank bot lane, but...
And the big thing I was trying to say is that Caitlyn Karma is such a big pushing abusive lane that without the flash, maybe Cupcakes will play a little bit safer. They maybe can't be as abusive towards low as well as Tegan now.
Yeah, Tegan actually opted for the Windspeaker's Lulu. I think in this situation, if they were looking for a bot lane gank, I think they would have gone for the Thunderlords.
That's the wrong tweet.
Not the tweet we were looking for.
Come on, Sam.
Team, for the most part, discipline around their 4-1 comp is pretty impressive. True. It's kind of what we talked about earlier. And Praetus really getting along with helping out the 4 as well.
I completely agree. One of my criticisms of OS in the past has been, even if you pick for a certain comp, teams don't play towards that. And I think that TM is a good example of a team that will, maybe even sometimes to a fault, play towards what their comp is supposed to do.
In this bottom lane, Lost and Cupcake still doing what they're meant to, but in fact, Low is ahead in CS if he can pick up 2 minions of this wave. Only now posturing aggressively against
mid.
Claire.
He can't get that.
No, he certainly can't. I think he should be top lane at the
Don't you
moment.
tell him what he can't do.
He should be taking away the Krugs, leeching a little bit of experience, and then potentially looking to punish Tally, because Tally warded the wrong side of the wave. He's actually gone for the Tri-Brush ward when it's so easy to get behind top lane at the moment.
Especially with Carbon bot side.
Yeah.
Tally's still going for the ring start on Gragas top. Carbon has ticked 4 here. Only to try and do some counter jungling for himself.
I feel like this is good pathing out of Carbon. It means he's defended his bot lane from the Rek'Sai gank. TM has answered with the top side clear, obviously taking away the golems, but the summoner loss in that matchup doesn't actually matter too much. That's not an all-any bot matchup. There's no way a Windspeaker's Lulu and a Xayah are going to be in a position to kill a K Karma.
Yep.
So they're just looking to push in the wave, and even though they're at a summoner disadvantage, they can still play exactly how they should.
So they spot out.
Also been spotted top side.
Yep, they spot out Carbon with this ward, and Rek'Sai has been spotted out top side.
TM do see Carbon doing this on that ward. But
Low's
they're
being on the
very
way
low.
out. They're very low.
Low is quite low. At lows.
Carbon's going to jump on in, takes all the cogs eventually. Ejim's very impressed with his pun there.
I mean, you can see that right now, top lane.
Jake's not.
Well, I just wanted to talk about the fact that, you know, you said great matchup for Gragas, and yet he's being pushed in over and over again.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to give me the top lane.
Yeah,
in
no,
general now.
you do it. Like,
You can't make fun of me for my top lane anymore.
I demand top lane knowledge.
you can
of
have top lane.
Good.
I just think about like the Jarvan EQ interaction. He shouldn't be able to get through with Gragas.
Yep.
That's
That's it.
that's it. That's all he's got. He's got 1 ring. He can't get any more.
Oh boy. Low's still farming on
So we can rule them all.
No, he can't.
He's
Not
not-
anymore.
He's not one of the elves. No, that's what the... Come on, Lord of the Rings, mate. One
Again.
ring to rule them all.
Spooks, that was not the question, but we appreciate you being on topic this time. Hunter's Machete Rek'Sai early clear significantly faster. The question was, is the Burrow start on Raptors faster than the Q start?
I bet you he has us muted, and everyone at home is just has no idea what we're talking about.
He's getting closer, guys.
Yeah, he's working on it.
He's getting
He's working
closer.
on it. Rek'Sai can go behind Dragonlord, and Legacy don't have any vision. Oh, don't go through. Oh, the Warden Try actually just died. I think they're dead. Are they dead?
Only's behind
Potentially,
them. They're
this is-
still
yeah.
His
posturing
flash is up in
aggressively.
like 20 seconds.
That's a flash from Tegan very early against
he's dead,
Cupcake.
he's
Gets
dead.
the slow.
Got him
Tether comes
both.
through. Dead. Double knockup. First blood picked up by Only. Lost his first to forced to flash as well.
And unlike the Elise, grabbing first blood on a Rek'Sai, being able to go warrior enchantment early and getting all the damage that comes out of the ultimate is so crucial for Rek'Sai to have success in the game, especially against an early, an aggressive level 6 jungler like Lee Sin. So that's huge for Only. Also gives an equal CS bottom lane over to TM, where we thought they might actually be punished quite hard for this.
And that Legacy are in the same sort of position where one of them doesn't have flash. So that gank can actually be repeated, this time onto Lost, and he will be able to be taken down. And this is just, yeah, like the Kate Karma lane doesn't want to be playing defensively. That's a chip lane. Like, you want to be chipping at the enemy turret. Only is actually looking for some sneaky...
Oh, this is cheesy.
Yeah, I like this. This is smart. Because Legacy think that the enemy bot lane has base, which they have, but...
Lost
and
is
they think they
gonna
can
come
push
up for a
this
ward.
in.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's
not!
Why would
dead.
he ward?
Wait for Xayah. They have to wait for Xayah. Play it patiently.
And playing it very
This is
safe.
good.
Carbon's making his way down slowly. Only is being as patient as
He's
possible.
in.
There he goes. Gets in on top of Cupcake. No mana to get him back with the net.
Nice.
Carbon's trying to run on down with Claire, but it's a little bit too late. Low gets that kill. The rest of Legacy are trying to collapse, but they can't get there in time.
And they ping them back. That is such disciplined play. Any other people would have been like, we can get a little bit more chip damage onto Cupcake. No, 2 members are heading down. Just back away, take your creep wave. And that is a fantastic punish out of Only. And TM's bottom lane now can play aggressively because summoner spells are going to continue to be an issue.
Ooh, so cheesy. I love it.
Level 6 as well out of Xayah. Xayah Lulu is got to be a little bit more effective than the Caitlyn Karma.
I mean, Karma doesn't even have an ultimate. She gets it at level 1. And Caitlyn's ulti isn't that useful in a 2v2.
This lane's going to be pushed back in. Now the CS is tied up between the 80 carries. Lowe's got a kill for himself. So was that assist?
That's a Kaparos in chat. Unfortunately, it's just completely whiffed the Cannon Creep Q, and it's put him a little bit down on mana as well.
Oh, Native jumping in. Good damage against Tally. Right.
Oh,
Top lane's just going to be a farm fiesta.
he's opted for a different ring.
Yeah, he's gone Darksteel Corrupting Potion. I actually like the adaptation. It's about the same amount of gold.
Well, there were a couple of pro players in NA messing around with Darksteel Ring and Shield as the new Gragas top lane combo. A little bit too expensive for their liking.
He now no longer has EQ.
He decided not to go for it. Carver's trying. Predicts the juke, doesn't juke.
He'll put that one in the memory bank, however. And next time he comes down, I guarantee he'll throw the Q low.
No, it takes 2 times. You need to train your opponents twice.
Oh, do you?
That's the rule. You hook left twice, then you hook right. And now I'm never going to do that again because I've just told the world.
Are these actual things, or are these pro player superstitions? Because I hear everyone tell a different story about how they do it.
No, I think it's a
Hang
thing. It's definitely a...
They're looking for a 5 bottom lane first. Cupcake's forced to flash. Lost still has that crit shot. Gonna run further forward. Tags him still with Pillow Peacemaker, but good shield by Tegan negates most of that damage.
They still have the Lulu ulti though, so low, even though he's quite low, is fairly safe. And then Karma is incredibly low. Only's looking down here though.
He's going to look to actually turret.
cancel
Is he going to
it.
turret dive?
No. Backed off.
Sovereign
Praetor's holding on to...
Dragon.
Praetor is holding onto his teleport.
Very
This is
nice.
great.
They're a changed team.
Woo.
Yeah. This
1
is
week.
actually very disciplined play out of TM. I cannot stress how I'm so impressed with how far they've come in just a week. This is a team I'm genuinely starting to get very excited about as the season progresses.
Which is great news because we were really excited about Tainted Minds last year, especially with Anero coming into coach. Now with this new team, they have Cyclone behind them. Praetor stuck around. They've got a really nice new roster. And again, the Goons on a team with lots of young members he's going to try and coach up.
I mean, and Shock is completely even in a Victor versus Orianna matchup. Probably should be, but is not getting bullied around by the veteran Claire at all. Bottom lane going up against what last split looked to be the strongest bottom lane in Oath is doing absolutely fine. Has had a lot of help from Only, but that's what you should do in an aggressive matchup like this. It's going to be trading. I just think they're making the right plays.
And a really small note about Shock is a lot of people say, you know, he's a solo queue Zilean one trick. As much as that might be true, he's drawing bans from Zilean whenever teams are playing on the blue side. Which
Yeah, start banning the Orianna is actually what I think. Is it much better?
Locket of Redemption powers by Carbon.
All right, he's down. I like laughing at a player as much as the next guy, but only when they're winning.
Yeah.
I refuse to laugh when they're losing.
he's still waiting to pick up his Warrior Enchantment. I know Carbon's very vocal about how that's a big power spike for any jungler that wants to pick it up.
Actually, we've seen that it's going to be a Q into W max for Praetor right now. I want to know what Tally's maxing, if he's actually gone with the W or Q. He's gone with Q Body Slam, so they're staying true to the old one. I feel like it's good for the wave clear, but I still think the W is a better trading tool.
Only soloing everything. He soloed a dragon already, soloing the Rift Herald.
He's going to call down Praetor for some help. Carbon, I believe, was spotted on the bottom side of the map. You can actually see Low and Tegan. Look at their position at the moment, hiding in the Krug brush, making sure they're not spotted out in the lane as well. Giving Legacy literally no avenue to make a play themselves.
They know they're on the weak side of the map. They know there's potential for a dive. Orianna just saw Victor rotate down. So this is actually really good out of them. I don't think they do the golems, but they should probably have a
Dive's
ward.
coming.
They've
Do
already
they
Rift
trade
Heralded.
sides? Here comes Carbon looking to try and get into back lines. Low being jumped on by Carbon, using the ultimate, gets kicked back, still taking a lot of damage. Carbon almost falls. Tegan
Cancel
is
TP.
a sitting duck, and Tally comes down.
Why did he go through with that?
Yeah,
he should have cancelled with
idea.
it.
I mean, he was dead regardless, I think. There, all of a sudden, they're going to open up mid lane.
Wait, did they lose? Legacy lose the race as well. Oh, this is the one
That's
for
a 2
two
for
trade
1.
as well.
And we're gonna see Praetor get top lane turret.
Yep.
Oh, try to.
I think if Orianna floats up and Rek'Sai, as they're doing right now, they're rotating top. Like, I feel like they're going to get that. Jarvan's going to whack away. Oh, maybe it's a bit too healthy.
So they got some chip damage on mid lane, you know, which is nice to have. Praetor's got a cannon minion to work with. He's already chipped this down to half health just from that cannon minion.
I feel if they had actually committed the turret, they 100% would have taken it,
Yeah.
because they're doing Krugs. They floated Orianna anyway, but didn't really do anything.
Doing it
They now commit it.
Bit late.
They will
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
gone.
They're going to get it. Tally has no
2 for 1.
TP. Carbon was basing after he did the golem camp bot. Really
And-
big overstay from Legacy, I think, bot side. Using the teleport and actually committing to it, I think, was a big mistake from them there.
before the turret went down, that was dead even as well. Because TM got the first turret, that's about a first blood worth of gold extra, so it negates one of the kills bottom lane. Picking up the second one just pushes them further ahead.
Oh, TM won that trade significantly. I mean, they gave, what did they give? They gave away a kill to Tally because of completed teleport.
First turret gold to Tally. Oh, no. They got it mid, sorry.
Yeah, got it that mid, and they gave away assists. So bottom lane is still behind, top lane is equal. And yep, so
it's in the jungle.
All in all, that was actually very good for TM.
Yep, all the gold at the moment that TM have is in the jungle. Only's picked up most of it.
And also, everyone talks about, oh, yeah.
Spooks.
Hey.
Is that you?
Sammy, what you doing? Caitlyn mid-game, not very good unless you're ahead, and she's not very ahead, I think. Fairly even an item. She's looking for the IE. I think Zaya's looking for the Essence Reaver.
When is Zaya strong?
Like 2 items, I think.
We have Ray tweeting in here. So as latest match this week, Only could actually take TM to the gauntlet. He is such a beast.
True. 2 items. I think she falls off later. Caitlyn, obviously, as the game goes on with her range, just gets better and better. Caitlyn, huge spike at 3 items. The new build on Caitlyn is obviously the Shiv, Rapid Fire, and the IE. Once you get that, you're just pot-shotting people from like mega far away, and they can't do anything about it.
If they stand on a trap, you actually kill them.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, Zaya looks for more like the team fight wombo with the ulti sort of thing.
Shock might be in some trouble. Carbon snuck up behind him.
Still don't really want to dive.
Shockwave used early. Claire actually tanking up the turret here. Used his heal to live.
He wasted his flash.
Ultimate from Lost, able to pick up the kill.
Actually flashed the kick at the start.
Yeah, he gets the wave though, so Legacy can't push on that wave. And TM have already got the priority mid, and this is chunked from the Rift Herald earlier, so...
Ooh, good damage. Tally is wrapping around the backside though.
Yeah, they have to back off because Rek'Sai was in the base, Jarvan was in the base, so... Free pick for Legacy on the top side, and I think they're going to get some turret pressure, but they probably won't. Oh, actually, no, I think they're going to get that one.
Kratos moving up top side. Claire's
Carbon's
behind
him again. He has no kick though.
Yeah,
they're not going to dive Jarvan.
So they save the turret. It costs them a kill.
And let's have a look at where this game's actually being played right now, because you can see that mid laners are starting to come into their first item, but both Victor and Orianna are really going to be spiking around the 2.5 to 3 items maybe even. Top laners are actually just tanks at this stage. Predator does a little bit more damage, but really it's the junglers. I mean, whenever Carbon is there before Only, he's able to get a kill for himself, but Only's just been soloing out the Dragon, as you mentioned. Rift Herald, he's got 2 very successful ganks down bottom. I feel like this is going to be a tempo game of junglers in the mid game, and Only with Flash should be able to make some plays happen.
TM already setting up the vision for this Dragon spawning. Infernal Drake. Going for the Raptors, probably a little bit greedy.
There was a ward that he just walked over the top of.
Going to get pushed off the Raptors, but TM are looking for this Dragon. Orianna's pushing the bot wave. Their waves aren't actually that good.
Oh, this is an Infernal Dragon as well. So great pickup for TM if they can secure it. Carbon's top side of the map.
They don't want a 5v5 team fight just because Caitlyn is where she is and Zaya is actually fine at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, Lost has picked up his first major item, the Infinity Edge. Essence Reaver is being looked at by Low.
Oh, he's gone the Q-Max after the E on Zaya. Is Ray's a fan of the W or the Q?
Wasn't that Victor?
Was it?
No, no, Zaya, sorry,
so
okay.
E,
yeah.
then Q.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I know you max E, but after that point...
horses for courses, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like... Yeah, you're kind of... I mean, maybe with a Rakan, you would go for the W max just because like it buffs him as well.
Yep.
So going for the Q, more opportunities to look for stuns with the Q auto E. But yeah, not too sure.
They used to be able to go to W max well because your Q, you can throw out an auto attack with it, so it's an instant E.
Yeah, and they've nerfed that now.
Maybe now you need that CDR on the Q to throw it out more.
That makes sense, actually. Sometimes you say good things, too. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Sometimes.
Every now and again.
Every now and then.
You have your moments. But Gold is back to completely even with the turret advantage right now over on TM.
I'm not sure why Karma went the Swifty boost. I've been looking at that for a while, and we haven't touched on it, but like they do have slows. I guess like Ori QW is a slow, Lula has a slow.
They're having Blitzcrank withdrawal sentence.
I don't know, like he actually went boots first, which is even more like upsetting for me. I feel like if you're going boots first, you're going Mobies because you want to make plays early. Carbon's actually gone in on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, he has. Got
Just
some good chunk damage.
But yeah, if you're going boots first on support, you generally go Mobies and look for runs. But
Legacy Carbon going aggressive. Legacy are creeped up mid lane. Just no response from TM so far. No Shockwave being used by Shock.
No, That's a big mistake from TM, I think,
Gives
to
a
give that
turret.
up.
But at the same time, when you're playing against Gragas, you really have to respect mid lane turret pressure. Because you can just throw the barrel out from behind your carries. If you ever walk up to Shockwave it, you might be popped back into the team.
Yeah.
And they have Lee Sin kick on the other side as well. So I don't know if there's all that much they can do.
Good ultimate from Praetor. Dodges out the ultimate from out from Tally. Tegan's trying to do whatever he can to get good damage. Actually, good crowd control. Tally gonna be able to body slam away. Very close.
So going into the mid lane thing, you saw where Jarvan was. He was pushing in the bot side of the map. Gragas was actually in between Jarvan and his team. So if he had just floated back, Gragas wouldn't be able to be looking for that flank engage on the mid turret. And I think Zai should have rotated top earlier. For a team that was in the lead, they shouldn't be giving up this free mid outer. It's the most important turret of the game. It has so much control.
Especially with Orianna on your team.
Especially with a control
forever.
mage. Someone that doesn't want to side lane. Victor's probably slightly better at side laning than Ori because he can just one-shot the wave and then leave. Neither of them really want to be there.
Especially if he goes Lichbane build, because he also does a lot of consistent damage with that build.
Yep. Can actually take pot shots with turrets and slightly be useful. Orianna has to sit there ramping her passive up. That sounds pretty average.
The
but
clockwork wind-up, just slapping away.
Yeah, I feel like that was a big mistake out of TM to give that one up.
Legacy have tied up the gold lead. It's about 400 gold in their favor. Still 2 dragons to TM though, an Ocean and an Infernal, which is not something you should laugh at.
I actually want to see TM look for a fight here. I mean, I know that it might seem a little bit premature, but Caitlyn will come online pretty much at the next item spike because they're not really got all that much armor. The 3 items is always going to be better, but she's okay at 2. And I feel like Xayah at the moment, if she especially gets a good ultimate and maybe dodges out some damage, will be able to teamfight a little bit more successfully, and they have the tools to force it.
Could they be waiting for Praetor to pick up his next item?
I mean, he's already got Black Cleaver. I feel like Titanic Hydra it obviously does more damage, that's why you pick it up, but with an Orianna ball, with a Lulu ultimate, should be able to just teamfight, honestly, right now, perfectly. I think they spiked much earlier.
Got him. Knocked back into the turret. Good damage. Tegan gonna take so much pain. Does Carbon take it?
Yeah.
His Q would get denied.
That's a disrespect Q. If Carbon takes that Q, he's actually saying to Tegan, you suck at the game, and I'm going to kill you.
Legitimately. Lagoon very low now, so going for the siege.
They've got to be careful.
They're down an engage tool, Legacy are though, with the Gragas ult down. They don't really have a lot else. Carbon looking for a kick will be pretty difficult. Lulu can deny the Q.
No Caitlyn as well.
And then trying to kick like a Xayah, like if she ulties your ult, then you just die as Lee Sin. Caitlyn on the top side of the map, so...
As much as Tegan's low, he's got an Ocean Dragon. He's going to be happy sitting behind the rest of his team. And this turret's going to fall. No Caitlyn, no clue.
Aggro.
This is getting really dangerous.
They want to go.
Carbon goes in, he tries to engage, only right behind, flash to top of Carbon, Cataclysm!
Nice.
Big wombo combo! Everyone's forced to flash out of the Shockwave. Victor throws down the Chaos Storm in response, but TM back off nicely.
And that is exactly what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, they send Praetor in. He is tanky enough with the Wild Growth, with an Orianna ball, and they get the team fight they're looking for. Even maybe more importantly, they got the flash out of Claire. So the next team fight that happens, he becomes the big sitting duck for Praetor to dive towards, and he will be able to get to him as a Jarvan.
I feel like that was only a small advantage they got out of it though. Like the Claire flash is obviously, if they can make use of it in the next 5 minutes, it's very big, but Caitlyn just got to farm so many waves top. She wasn't at that fight at all. And here we go, we can look for the Orion here that gets flashed by Victor.
It's a good flash. We've actually flashed a couple of them today now, Claire.
Yeah, I think that's the second or third we've seen. And then the Victor ulti, obviously, as he's flashing, he doesn't have to control it, just sitting there bopping people. Team were too low to keep pushing. Tegon's an absolute trooper.
Rather than say his outcome, he's playing with a very sore shoulder and refused painkillers after game 1.
Mate, when you pick up weights over 300 kilos the way he does, I'm not surprised his shoulder's a little bit sore.
300 kilos.
He was actually complaining about it on the, not on the desk, but before he went on the desk yesterday, saying he's probably going to take a couple of days off from the gym.
I don't believe it for a second. He's the guy that says that, and then you look at his Twitter at 7 o'clock at night, and he's just back in the gym. He's got the best T-shirt in the world. I pick heavy things up and put them back down.
Caitlyn finished 2 items and boots in a very good position right now, I think. Yep. Gotta look for the rapid next.
Lowe's still behind. He's about 23 CS behind. Lost as well as a single kill.
When you're playing Eddie Carey and you're sitting on a crit glove, you know you're in for a rough time, but he does actually base and get his rapid fire.
Ouch. Carbon, where'd your health go?
Telling you, once again, Shock.
Stings!
He's my new man, Shock. He's in a position to once again carry this game with a big Shockwave. He hits Lost and Lost doesn't get access to the fight. He he can win TM this series.
Legacy posturing aggressively. Only he's on the backside of this fight. He actually caught out slightly. Gets knocked into the wall though. Looking for this shockwave from Shock. He's going to take too much damage to kick things off though. And big backline flag. However, Claire has separated all the carries from TM. And it's just Praetor and Only trying to go into the deep end here. In the end, TM lose 3 members only, taking down Carbon.
And a flashless Claire splits up that team fight, doesn't allow Low and Shock to get any position on the backline that, you know, Praetor Only were actually looking for, and comes up huge for his team. They've relayed Dragon. Nah, it's all right. It goes down. And they'll get mid lane turret off it as well, it looks like, just because Low's got such short range that can't really go for it. And you know you've zoned out an Orianna, zoned out a Xayah, when they have not been able to use ultimates.
Yeah.
I mean, that just tells me the tale of that whole team fight.
Claire is by far the MVP of that. Low, actually, I don't even think he got an auto attack off. He was sitting... You see where Shock is sitting right now. Low's going to come onto your screen. I legitimately don't think he auto attacked anyone in this fight.
Goes once. Let's have a look. Gets a couple of...
Oh, no, he's queued. Hey.
Yeah, he is not auto-attacked at all.
Yeah,
and still nearly fallen down. And Claire has killed one member and zoned another 2 away.
Yeah.
TM this time looked like they tried to force a Baron. Burns teleport from Tally.
Yep. That's worthwhile straight away.
Yep,
all of a sudden you have Praetor that can go back into the bottom lane. Although
Praetor
he really wants Claire. He was like, Claire, you carried the last fight.
Oh no. Careful.
Doesn't pull the trigger.
He's still waiting though. He's hiding in Fog of War. Legacy are pushing for this mid lane inner.
Still
Tally's
potentially can go.
Praetor has now been spotted. Decides not to do anything.
Tally looks very squishy.
He certainly does, and that's
He has a
hesitation.
mask. There's an Abyssal mask.
So it gets a 10% extra magic damage.
Praetor's still waiting in the wings. Gets taken up by Carbon again.
They're in a huge choke point right now.
Oh, Tally's going in. Decides to only body bot Praetor. Gets a good shield. There goes Praetor, looking for the knock up onto Lost. Good sidestep.
But as you can see, it costs Praetor absolutely nothing to threaten because they don't want to use anything on him. As soon as they do, he just Cataclysm ultis and gets the big wild growth as well as Shockwave.
That was the most pathetic siege I've ever seen.
They're still going for it as well. Tally and Carbon are in big trouble.
Good knock off from Praetor. Tally actually taking so much damage. Flashed
Oh,
on by
Carbon
Only, and
in.
Carbon follows into the pit. Shock will die to Claire due to the Chaos Storm. Only still chasing down the raid boss leader of Legacy, Carbon. As meanwhile, turret will fall for TM as well. It's 1-for-1 trade turret picked up by Legacy.
Claire is doing so much work in this fight. Yeah, I was saying this exactly the same thing. He's getting the kills, he's getting the chunks, and then he even uses his W to zone them off the turret so we can actually...
Lost!
Oh.
Run away! Praetor's looking to hunt you down. Only still trying to chase. That was big damage as soon as he shred through all the armor with Black
Big
Cleaver.
wave top lane, however, and they've got positioning over the Baron area. See whether they start it up. Claire's Victor is greater than Claire any other champion right now. It is just such a joy to watch him play the champion.
He had to play Karma last game. You know, he got angry at Soul Strike, so he got a real champion and he's doing damage.
Put Tally back on the bad matchup.
Yeah. Became a tank. I want to do damage.
Lowe's trying to farm this top lane wave that is pushing in. The rest of Legacy have now grouped up.
Lowe had another team fight where it looked like he also didn't get ulti out.
Nope.
He was chasing Carbon down to the right as Claire was just manhandling Shock in the mid lane under the turret. Shock didn't have flash and then died to the last tick of the Victor ulti and just...
Couldn't use his shockwave either. So.
Oh, he did use his shockwave.
Yeah, he did.
He actually got not a bad shockwave.
Yeah,
pulled him back in underneath the turret, but
Yeah.
too much burst damage coming out of Claire at this stage.
Cupcake going for Ardent Sensor.
Ooh, and Claire's not going for the consistent damage build. He's going for the I'm going to kill Low build. Has picked himself up the makings of a death cap. I actually think Low has to go for, and I hate doing it on Xayah as well, but if he doesn't get a Hex Drinker, I think he gets one combo.
Possibly.
Either that, or you're saying I'm going to dodge your ult 95% of the times with my ulti.
That's very hard.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying he needs to get a Hex Drinker.
Yeah. Can he afford to, though?
I don't think so, but...
Because, I don't know, because he's only sitting on 2 items right now. Both Carbon and Tally are just getting tankier, and they both have Ninja Tubby. He's not going to do any damage to the front line. Gragas is just going to be sitting there in front of him, yeah.
He's in one of those spots where he just has to be offensive.
Yeah.
Big crit from Lost.
Ghost in,
looking for the
Shock as well.
Yeah, Shock was really looking for it. Doesn't find something. Carbon takes some damage from that. He's got a null magic mantle now, so we'll reduce some damage.
Only starting to fall off as well. Rek'Sai is certainly more potent in the early game than this stage of the game. Carbon still has the flash kick, although not many great targets apart from maybe Shock or T-Gun to put into the team.
At this point in the game, I hear Spooks complaining about it a lot on Rek'Sai in terms of you just find it very difficult to actually get into fights. Because once you've burrowed, you're completely committed, and you're not actually that tanky because you've gone Warrior. So if Jarvan doesn't get a big combo off that Rek'Sai can follow up, Only's going to find it really hard to actually be relevant in these coming up fights.
Yep. They still have Predator on Jarvan, so let's see if they can combo that with Orianna quite successfully.
Low as well is going IE, has thrown the gauntlet, has definitely recognized the dilemma that we've spotted and said, you know, if I don't go it, I'm not going to do any damage. So just commits to the build. Yep. Certainly the best Xayah build in the game. I don't think anyone would debate that. She just does so much teamfight damage if you ever get to the Infinity Edge pickup.
Lost is really close to pick up his Static Shiv Rapid Fire Cannon combo as well. Once you pick that up, Caitlyn is well and truly online. 80% crit. Double procs coming out for the 2 items as well.
It just feels like one of those situations where Legacy are very slowly just setting up for a Baron, right? And they don't actually have a lot of engage opportunities. All they've got is a Flash Gragas and possibly a lead kick, but I talked about that earlier, and it's very hard to actually get on either of the carries. But then you have TM on the other side. Rek'Sai is fairly good at checking Baron, but they don't have a lot of long-range stuff. Yeah, it is actually.
Is it? Nah, Ocean. So we're alright.
Okay.
Not going to be a big team fight around that one.
But yeah, so TM are going to find it very hard to check Baron, and Legacy just have a very long-range comp. They can throw Victor Blazers, they can throw Caitlyn traps and Karma Qs and stuff like that. So TM, like, once they get denied this vision, will find it very hard to contest the Baron that Legacy's setting up.
It's an 800 gold lead from Legacy at the moment.
I mean, I think, just touching on Vendra's tweet there, I think this has gone past a respectable kind of game. And this is a series that TM, if they don't win this, will be disappointed in themselves here.
Yep.
Much like last week, they came in as heavy underdogs, but the performance they've put up so far actually shows that they probably should be able to win this series.
And exactly what they talked about in their interview before the match. They want to be able to continue picking up games like they have been so far. That's good, but once you get to week 3, week 4, that's when you need to start winning series against teams like Legacy. If not, your fight for top 5 to get into the gauntlet, not very great. And during this time, Gargoyle's Stoneplay has been picked up by both top laners, especially on Predator, who has the double health item combo.
I was about to say, it's much more effective on one than the other, however, because if you dive in there with double health items and the ultimate that's going to come out of T-Gun, that is a huge Gargoyle Stoneplay.
There's a couple of big item spikes that I'm looking forward to now. Carbon is going towards Locket, which I think is actually really good on him at the moment. And if Predator can get Locket to combo with a Gargoyle Stoneplate, that might be what Low needs to stay alive.
But he's not going to be anywhere near him. All of a sudden, Teleport coming in, they're actually going to fight for this one. You can see they're actually collapsing on the TP. That is a great play.
He completed. Cupcake going to try and lock him down. Tether comes through. They still chase. Good, slow. But no one else is going to charge on further forward. Tally still has his own teleport, so Legacy can back off, but ultimate being used. Only's going to try and dash back out. Good lockdown onto Tally. Praetor tries to jump in, jumps on a trap. Good Cataclysm, but everyone just dashes back out. That's going to be Claire trying to run away. Big shockwave onto the front line. Cupcake's going to fall first. Now Tally is a sitting duck. Chaos Storm trying to be controlled into the back lines. A good snipe coming out from Claire. 1-for-1 trade.
Claire is an absolute monster, and Tally's just killed Praetor. That's silly, Praetor. Carbon still looking to fight Only here.
Yeah, can he take it though? Let's see if he decides to go for the fight. No ultimate for either player. Good knock-up. Cancels the damage. Carbon has to flee. Woo.
Claire is coming up with the goods every single time.
Claire's a monster.
He's actually popping off in these fights. That looked like a poor fight for Legacy. Tally was just getting chomped by the backline of TM.
Teleport used.
Already used his,
teleport used by Tally. They're going towards Baron. They're trying to trade an Ocean for a Baron. Let's see if Legacy are able to commit to this.
They do have vision. The blue ward does spot them starting this. They're going to run over.
Can they get there in time? Only is the master of stealing these away as well. So we'll see. They've actually not got all that many people there.
The Baron isn't that quick without Victor.
Yeah, Claire needs to actually stay out of the pit and zone as well, because otherwise Only's just going to be able to steal it.
Only's got around the backside. He has to deal with Cupcake though. This Baron though, very low. Tally throws out a preemptive ult. Only is in to go for it. He's looking to try and go. Body buff from Tally at the perfect time. Well played from Legacy. Lost trying to charge forward onto Low. Gets some good damage. Only still gets slowed up by Tally's barrels. Cupcake will lock him down with a good tether. Tries to take a tunnel out. Carver still chasing. TM escape. They lose Baron. Pings the bottom lane inhibitor turret. But Legacy have now taken lead in this game.
Heads up Baron out of Legacy, however. They knew that they were going towards the Dragon. They trusted that they had the damage to do it. And if not, that they were going to be able to force Only out of the pit. Oh, flash kick.
Looking for the fight. Praetor gets cancelled as he tries to go for the flag and drag. Only very low in the back of the fight. Look at Low posturing so aggressive.
This is so greedy. Legacy just letting that wave just hit the bottom the bottom turret. It's just dying to no one. They do secure the dragon, though.
I think it's finally off the turret as well, so that turret will live. And TM have got a couple of minutes to try and push it down aggressively, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere close to that.
Claire was just doing the rookie, standing next to a wall, hoping someone would run at the wall, and he was just going to dump all of his spells over the top of it and one-shot them.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, that wasn't worth it for Legacy. They spent all that time with their Baron buff up, not using it at all, like contesting this 50-50 dragon.
Yeah.
Carbon used his flash kick there and then didn't even get a kill onto Only, so they could have used that time to reset. Just give TM an Ocean Drake. Like, you're 32 minutes into the game. Like, what does Ocean Drake actually do if you're diving there in Hibs? So, like, just reset, set up the map, deploy onto one side of the map. I think they're going bot side now by the looks of it. Tally doesn't have TP, so instead of going top and pushing it in, he's actually grouping for them.
The scary thing for me is if Claire, without his flash, gets jumped on by Praetor with an Orianna ball on top of him, that's good night, Victor. And Victor's been the one that's been winning team fights at the moment for Legacy.
Lockett will be there for Carbon, and he'll probably be on top of his Victor in that situation, looking for either the kick away. So there is some good damage mitigation, although Deathcap as well as IE have now been finished up by the TM lineup. So I feel like if this game goes much later, then Lost is going to be able to carry, but there is still a window where they can pick up a nice 5v5.
I mean, Lost has already got a Last Whisper, so his carry potential has been unlocked.
He just tanks up the turret with Karma Shield.
Doesn't care. Infinity Edge has been picked up by Low.
You say he doesn't care, but all of a sudden he's half health. And
He'll have Wall Odds to heal back up.
Yep.
And his,
Red
I
buff.
Watch him
say
crit
Doran, but he
something
doesn't have one of
once.
those. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. He's got double Ocean Dragon.
Oh, hey.
He's
So that's why they were
that's
contesting.
That's red buff as well.
Yeah, red buff, double Ocean Drake. He'll be fine. Yeah, he's already full HP. One auto, Wall Odds.
disgusting. It's too much regeneration.
And you can see that the split pusher right now is actually going to be Claire, because he's level 18, and I don't think anyone can go near him.
Yeah. He's pretty safe as well. He doesn't have summoners, but he can keep a big distance between himself and like Rek'Sai tunneling on him. It's very broadcast. He can just hit him with the slow and the W. Rek'Sai will take a Q auto to the face and get very chunked.
Even if you get Cataclysm, you just put the
W
gravity field down and put an ulti on top of him and see who dies first.
See you, boys. You think I'm stuck in here with you?
Tally's still pushing top side of the map. Lots of members of TM are grouping up towards top side, leaving Praetor alone, bottom of the map. He's trying to build that Locket as fast as possible. I feel like that's what TM really need at the moment. Could make or break fights for them with that Gargoyle Stone Plate. Especially against Claire at the moment, who just does obnoxious amounts of damage. He's going for Lichbane next, not even caring about a Void Staff at the moment.
I mean, it's not really all that much MR built up on the targets that he wants to go towards. You can see that now the Null Magic Mantle is coming out, so maybe a Hex Drinker coming up. But really, I mean, there's no Banshee's Veil or something like that that Shock's going to be able to mitigate.
Tally does have Flash, and Legacy have pushed in the other lanes and all grouped in the top side, so I think Tally will be looking for a Flash engage here.
Let's see if he does. Claire's Flash is coming back up as well, so perfect time if he wants to do so.
Teleport is available.
Ultimate used by Tally, knocks one back. Only now gets a good knock up there. He's going to take so much damage though. He is going to use the ultimate to go untargetable. Will still be taken out by Carbon. Praetor stepping on the trap there, going to take way too much damage for his liking. Flying Drags out. Legacy looking to try and push for the first inhibitor turret of the game.
Take two, TM. I mean, that is a hard reset if I've ever seen one. You unfortunately probably just have to let this turret go down. And I say, we'll get him on the inhib.
I think if Only didn't go in there, I think Legacy would have run out of the wave, and I think they would have had to reset to respect the other lanes. But
Carbon going in, jumps back, can't kick Shock back enough. Will he pay for this? Yes, he does. Shock's get that kill on towards Carbon. Inhibitor will fall, though. Legacy get a good trade eventually. 1-for-1. Jungle is falling. Now can they get the heck out of there?
Praetor needed to hold that Cataclysm because they could still be chasing right now if it was available. And Carbon was dead regardless. He had used everything to try and get in. Now all of a sudden they're going to be battling against waves. Only will be back available, and there'll be about 25 seconds on the map where Carbon isn't there.
It was really messy. Like Tally butched the engage on the Gragas, and then Carbon kind of butched the engage on the Orianna there on the Lee Sin, but they do get what they wanted. They got the top inhib, they broke the base, and now they're probably going to just reset, set up bot side, and rinse and repeat that same sort of thing. But they don't have Baron now, so sieging against the inhib without Baron will be very difficult.
Yeah, and I think that's why they'll probably look to maybe push in this wave and get control over the Elder Drake.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a good window for 30 seconds where you can play bottom side, try and shift their vision around, get them into a bad position, and it might even be a 2-for-1 special where, you know, you can bait them into the Elder Drake fight. If Claire carries it hard enough, you just go to Baron, then you end game.
Yeah. So we've got a Locket pick up for both top laners now. Praetor from the Tally have one. Support for Legacy's picking one up as well. So that's the triple Locket team that's about to unfold for Legacy.
That's gross. Oh, hello.
Hello, going to take some damage there. King
kill.
lock down Tally. He needs to get the feathers behind him. Can't pull it back. If he did, whew, that could have been a
Some
kill.
decent damage, however.
There's, oh no, Shockwave from Shock on top of himself.
hoops.
Gets good
Oh,
damage from the
no.
cupcake, but now he's been separated. Knocked back into the team, gets a big shield from the locker. Trying to run away. Wishes he had that Shockwave right now, though.
Certainly does. I mean, did you just see how they grouped up for Praedyth, and he turned around and actually wanted to go in on it, but no spells available means that they're going to back away. 40 seconds until this Elder Drake is up, and complete control over the zone over the Legacy now.
It's just an absolute disaster there. They
Does
almost
it
got
fall off
Cupcake.
Rek'Sai? Is that what happened?
When he goes untargetable.
Targetable.
I'm not actually sure of the interaction. He goes
Yep,
untargetable.
if you go
so
untargetable, you lose the ball.
the ball must disappear.
That's what happened.
That's
Shock.
unfortunate. I feel like, well, Ori Shockwave will come up before Claire's ulti, so if they get into a full 5v5, Claire may be less useful here, but TM they have to deal with the top wave and they don't have any control in their bot side jungle. As you can see, Carbon's just staunching inside like the Raptor pit, so it'll be rough to contest.
And all the wards that they've been able to sweep out is actually the big thing, because Praedyth has to stay there and deal with the wave. He has teleport. If there was a ward still, if that play hadn't have gone down and the sweep wasn't so thorough, maybe they can still look for the fight, but now it's going to be very difficult to contest.
Jarvan is a very good flank champion, and then,
Let's see they go for it. Claire's in the back end of the pit.
Oh, they
Teleport's
actually have
coming
one
in.
there still.
They're looking to try and go for this big fight. Legacy are grouping up. Cancelled by Praedyth. And now this Elder Dragon is just going to be started by Legacy.
You have to steal now.
Used by Low so early. They're looking for the steal. Only has to pull off a miracle. He goes in. Can't get it. Legacy get Elder Dragon. Only
Doesn't
stuck
have flash.
inside the pit as well. Tries to take the tunnel out. Will gets a big shield as well. Tally still charging further forward. Good route coming out from Low to lock him down.
But that's going to be Baron as well, because look at the creep waves already. You don't want to fight the Elder Drake team when they've got two of them. Instead, they're actually just going to race and see if they can clean it out.
And with the TP from Jarvan there, Jarvan, as I was saying, is a really good flank champion, and you were saying how Legacy so thoroughly swept out the wards. That ward wasn't far enough away, and he would have just TP'd straight into a Caitlyn trap, into the Victor damage, and would have died immediately, so he had to cancel. And then TM just couldn't contest, didn't get the steal. Legacy have the double buff. They got the Baron, they got the Elder Drake. It's going to be really rough to hold their base.
The problem for me is if Praedyth, and that's inevitable. If you cancel the teleport there, that's Baron, it's Elder Dragon. It's almost lights out for TM. They have to pull off a miracle now to come back. But if he does teleport, yes, he's going to take a lot of damage. Gargoyle's still playing into Iron of Solari. He might have been able to live long enough for one ultimate. And at least you have an even fight there, so to speak. Just getting your top laner chunked out.
I mean, they're still hoping for the even fight. They're not going to fight here properly. They're going to try and harass them around a little bit. And they're hoping that the slow push on bottom side is going to, delay this game. Top lane inhib will come back up.
Claire just
quite
almost
soon.
one-shot Tegan, though, with a single Q.
Yeah, Goon doesn't mind about that. He's all right.
Not looking great for TM at the moment. It's now a 10k lead for Legacy. Baron buff, Elder Dragon sitting in their hands, looking for the final inhibitor turret as well. No teleport available for Praedyth. Tally still has his own. And I agree with Cupcake. It's a laughing matter at the moment for Legacy. They're doing just fine.
Certainly are. 9,000 gold.
Yay.
They haven't reset. They'll be sitting on a lot of gold here.
Ow, look at
But
Low.
Legacy
That's
can
one
get a
auto attack.
big lead.
One auto attack from Lost puts Low down to half health.
Oi.
Praedyth going in, looking for the ultimate, decides to hold on to it a little bit longer, not using Gargoyles in time, jumps back into Tally, only now looking for a fight. Good route coming out from Low, but there's too much
Ori.
consistent
Yeah.
damage. Big shockwave, but just barely enough damage to take down multiple members of Legacy, and the Redemption is just going to top them up.
That's game.
That's going to be a game for Legacy as they charge on further forward. What can TM do? Claire almost one-shots Tegan. In fact, does, with the damage over time coming from Death Fire Touch. Legacy push towards the Nexus. Lows are sitting duck. Look at Lost! Charging further forward. Bang, bang, bang goes the Sniper. Legacy, 41 minutes into this game against TM, should finally close this out. They're on the Nexus turrets, taking their sweet time to take it over though.
Certainly are. And this wasn't a clean set, but in the end, it's going to be a 2-1. Legacy are going to get the points, and TM just so close.
So close. Much improved from TM this week. Legacy again dropping game 2 against a team that is under the 4th spot on the table. They'll be happy with the win, but definitely disappointed of how they play against TM. Or potentially, people should be surprised that TM are performing incredibly well now.
I think that's the thing. I think TM are actually performing very well. I think Legacy probably did play a bit poorly in this set and are looking to clean it up. But it wasn't as if Legacy played horrible and still came out with a win. TM actually made a lot of proactive moves and made a lot of plays and got themselves ahead in a lot of situations. They just couldn't quite convert in the stages that they need to. And Legacy, the more experienced team, do actually come out with a win.
A small thing for Legacy there as well. That win for them in Game 3 was off the back of Claire, who, if you watched him split one in that high pressure scenario, it was a 50-50 chance that he'd be able to pull that off. Sometimes he would absolutely ruin it for Legacy. But that time, he looked calm and collected, able to pull it off.
I mean, the 2 games they gave Claire carries was the 2 games they won. I mean, Game 1 performance was MVP. Game 3 was certainly the best player on Summoner's Rift. And if you look even back to week 1 when he was playing things like Fiora, Claire has turned into a legitimate threat for this team now that you certainly have to be aware of. You can no longer ignore their mid laner.
Yeah. Legacy looking great there in the mid lane. Unfortunately, they're still dropping Game 2 week after week. They need to clean something up because they are a team that's being sent to Rift rivals and then probably looking to try and gun for top 3 again.
And I feel like you're saying week after week, they keep doing that 2-for-1 turret trade like week after week. It's happened ever since the Gauntlet. I've said it every time I'm here. They just do it every single time. So they need to clean that up. They need to fix these things that are happening week after week if they want to perform well at Rift rivals, if they want to do well internationally. they need to fix it.
Well, Captain Carbon got his lock at that game, but no redemption, unfortunately. And to break down that game a little bit further, let's send it back to the analyst desk.
Thanks very much, guys. And Legacy being able to take the 2-1 over TM. But once again, the TM performance kind of overcoming expectations.
The way I look at the TM performance is like it wasn't like Legacy played bad. TM actually did things. Like the casters touched on that. Like TM did things to like get leads in that game. It wasn't like, oh, Legacy butchered a tower dive and there's their gold lead. Yeah, like props to TM, really. That's all I can say.
Yeah, in my head, I was going to say like they have like these glimmers of hope, but like that, the phrasing actually is like sort of like doesn't do it justice because they actually show like a lot of good traits and they show themselves as a team with like a lot of promise.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, this is the second week in a row the team have come close to taking a series, right? And this is a team that were kind of written off at the start of the series as probably bottom 3, bottom 2, but they've taken games off Sin, off Legacy now. I mean, and they're improving week to week, right? You're seeing improvements.
Well, I would say that they looked better this week than they did against us. I would say that.
You would say that.
Well, no, like I genuinely think they played a lot better this week than against us.
Yeah.
And it's not saying they played bad against us either.
Sure.
But I just think that this week they actually like stuck to like a game plan, developed good leads, and it's just I think the experience that got Legacy over the line.
Yeah, I actually want to say I think I'm gonna say I think actually they're the only team in the OPL that has gone from like week 1, week 2, week 3, and just like actually gotten better each week, and like that's like such like a promising trend for them. I actually would like to see like after this 2-week break, like how much can they get from like this extended break, and and then weeks further in the OPL, how much like better can they get?
All right, well let's take a look at some replays, shall we? Jish, I want you to talk us through this first one. This is kind of we're talking about Legacy not playing, playing well, but this is them kind of overcommitting in the bot lane, and things don't go well.
Yeah, so Legacy send. I think this is like a classic bait that they think they need 5 people to like. It's like they need to 5v2 here, which is just I think quite wrong. So I want to see them cancel TP here when the Jarvan does. So instead they commit 5 people for 1 turret, and like Praetor just gets to clear top wave and shove that out, and Shock and only go mid, and they use the Rift Tail really well. So what ends up happening is that they commit a lot of resources to get 1 bottom turret. They don't even get the first like turret gold, and then like they're losing 2 lanes of farm, and they're losing more across the map in terms of like turrets on the map advantage.
But if you've already committed 5 people bot, why didn't they just stick around and take that? Could they have taken that bot turret first?
I mean, you could get like really, really nitty gritty and like fine tooth comb through it. And
sure.
I think not actually. Like looking at it, they just looked at it like, oh, let's cut losses now, get back up mid so that they can't get 2 turrets with the Rift Turret or something. Right. But yeah, I think that was just like that's like TM, a team that's brand new with like not a lot of cohesion or anything. I think that they're just like keeping it cool under pressure.
So yeah,
I think that was just a good macro play as well. Like you shared, they went down mid with the Rift Herald, but it didn't stop there. Like they didn't just stop at mid lane and then say, okay, we got 1 tower base. They actually rotated through topside jungle and got the top tower as well, which I guess many teams, not many teams, but a lot of teams wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, let's take a look at this second replay then. And Jibs, I want you to talk us through this this dragon fight. Like something goes wrong here. What should have happened as we bring it up on screen?
Okay, so like TM are doing the right thing so far. I guess only went into the pit a little bit too early. But the big thing here is they let Claire, Victor, flank their backline. He literally just one-shots the backline. He zones 3 people from the fight. TM had the right idea. Like Jarvan actually flanked and got got onto Legacy's backline, but the problem was there was no comms to say, okay, boys, Victor's behind us. We need to turn on Victor. If they all turned on Victor as 3, they probably would have one-shot Victor.
Yeah.
But I think they were just so committed on listening to, I don't know if it was the shot caller or who's calling the fights,
Yeah.
and they just said, okay, we have to help Jarvan, we have to help Rek'Sai, and then it's like, oh, by the way, guys, level 17, level 16, Victor's behind us. We're in trouble.
When you're playing that kind of game, just do you realize how much damage Victor's outputting though? Like, are players aware of just how dangerous Claire is on Victor?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I
in
think
that situation?
Victor's actually he's actually not like a fantastic champion. He doesn't see like a lot of play, mainly because he has like very very slow ramping damage. When he gets to, like the later stages of the game, he actually does a lot of damage, which I think people maybe underestimate from that early stage, being like, oh yeah, he does like a bit of damage here and there with his laser. But no, once he has like that full upgrade and a few core items, his like ult does an like insane amount of damage.
As we saw,
Yeah.
I think we'll get some stats on that later on. The third replay I want to look at is another dragon fight. And just, we talked a lot about Praetor's teleports going into this game. And he starts to teleport into this dragon fight and then cancels. And I want you to tell me if that's the right call as you bring it up. The third replay.
Like I hate watching like pretty enjoyable series end on something like this. So like TM have no options in terms of flank TPs, which I think is like the one big takeaway here. They're forced to commit pretty much on that ward, and then Legacy all claps on it, and Praetor just obviously gets scared. I think if he goes through with it, he probably dies close to instantly, but he might get a knock up and ult off, and hopefully he sets his team up for a fight. What happens instead is that he just starts running. His team like can't get in any good position. Like Shock doesn't get a shockwave off. So like they have no damage, and they really have like no way to win that. So they lose the Elder, and then they're going to lose like the Baron, and like their sideways are shoved in, and there's no redemption for them to come back.
The way I look at that play there, it was like it was a bad TP, and that's probably not on Praetor. Like the team as a whole should have collectively like got him a TP ward, but it was a bad TP, but not a terrible one, I think.
Right.
So if he TPs in there, like he pops Locket and Stoneplate and gets like a really big shield, and like worst case scenario, if he can just press R, they're like all funneled into like a little kind of not choke, but a little area where Orianna can hit a shockwave. Because like TM have to realize that if they lose Elder there, like it's game.
Just quickly for people who don't know the patch changes, talk us through the Locket Stoneplate combo, because that just grants crazy health, right?
Look, I may refer to me as being 600 IQ. I don't know the exact way it works.
But you I'll let you explain it then.
Cliff notes. So when you're near at least 3 enemy champions, you can proc your Stoneplate active.
Yeah.
Gives you extra health, and then I believe the
Locket gives you
Locket
health based
gives
on
you shield based
yeah,
on your
yeah,
health.
yeah.
So obviously it just like multiplies on top of each other, and then you get really big and really big shield, and you're near.
So
and basically that's how it works.
Yeah. but your point there stands, right? It's like if you're Praetor and you're afraid of getting jumped on by multiple people, then that actually works in your favor if you can hit that combo before you die.
Well, I still don't. I don't think that's the ideal TP. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But I think that's enough to kind of get all of his stuff off. Maybe live, but force them into a Legacy into tunneling on him, and maybe hit a good shockwave. And because at that point in the game, that's
they're forced to at that point. Like
Yeah.
once they cancel, the game's over.
Yeah.
So like he really has to go through with that, suck it up and die.
But I also think at that point
Like-
in the game, that's where like TM's comp is probably at their strongest.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're getting any stronger than that. Like Victor for me probably does the most damage in mid lane out of all like control mages. Maybe there's a few others that do a bit more, but Victor online does the most. Caitlyn's probably the most hardest scaling AD carry that's in the meta right now. So they had to go for that.
All right, well, let's take a look at this draft, shall we, and bring it up on your screen, because I want to talk through it, because some interesting things we saw out of here. TM, first picking Xayah when Caitlyn's still up. Now, there's been a lot of chat back and forth whether or not Xayah is better than Caitlyn, whether or not Caitlyn's better than Xayah. I mean, give me your thoughts on this.
Well, Caitlyn counters Xayah in lane. Like Xayah can't contest anything really because Caitlyn just outranges.
Yep.
And then to top that off, Karma actually does pretty well into Lulu, just because like Karma just pokes Lulu out of lane. So you've basically got like a double winning matchup bot into like a double counted matchup for TM.
See, yesterday the chat was like, in team fights though, you can leave Xayah to her own devices, she can do her own thing.
But like
you're
only
gonna get pushed in too
only
far.
save that actually save that lane. Like if that didn't happen, like they're probably gonna lose Tara at like 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I think it's like a hard matchup. Karma is probably like the most oppressive lane just because they like that raw shoving power they have, and only did bail them out. I think what needs to be sort of addressed in the draft is that TM really did have like a limited time frame which they needed to get something done. Obviously, the Victor and the Caitlyn is like the legacy. It's like that could become the legacy special if they're going to play for comps that come online after 35 minutes. And that they have really good early skirmishing and stuff. Like obviously, once they get level 6 on every champion, I would love to see them fight. And they sort of just I guess didn't push enough advantages to do that.
Well, the final thing, the final pick there for Legacy was Victor, and I want to bring up a Claire graphic to look at how much damage he's done because I know, yeah, I mean we just love to see big numbers, but I mean he had like over 300 CS, 407. I mean this is a guy who's had an up and down split so far this series. Sorry, he's had an up and down split so far. In the second half of the year, but this is the kind of a game which he is carrying by himself.
This is actually what we're expecting from Claire. So everyone's always said Claire is going to be the next big player, and then he had a decent split. But I think that we can start expecting this, and he's expecting this of himself. I think that he's definitely a standout mid. And in game 3, that it's been 2 close games. I think you put him on the hard carry champion. This is a really respectable performance.
But the thing I like about this also is they gave Carbon a jungle matchup. They gave him a matchup. On Nunu, he doesn't have a matchup. he's PvE as well.
Yeah,
he's versing the environment. He walks into River, he says hello to the Toad in River, drops a ward, and walks back out. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
And this time they gave him Lee Sin, and sure, he didn't pop off and kill every lane, but his lanes can actually play because they know that they'll win a 2v2.
Yeah.
If Carbon's around, if Claire's I want to trade mid, yeah, trade mid. I'm playing Lee Sin, I can actually help you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so now they get farm, they get items, they can actually push advantages, and it was just so much better.
So what you're saying is, really, you guys want to take credit for this win because you gave Carbon the advice, take Lee Sin. He takes Lee Sin, and
I definitely
I'm not saying, look, I'm more humble. I'm not saying I have a big brain, but I have a big brain. All right?
I was yelling last week that Nunu sucks, and I stand by it. I think
I stand by it.
Well, I think this game goes to show, though, that if Legacy want to play scaling, if scaling's their thing, you don't have to have 3 scaling lanes. You can have 2 scaling lanes.
Yeah.
You can have 1 scaling lane.
Yeah.
You still play late game, and you still team fight well.
Well, okay, for then TM, this is 2 weeks in a row, like we said, where they have come close to winning series, but they're still yet to crack that open over the course of this split. So what are they doing moving forward? Well, they're improving week to week, right?
Well, they're improving week to week. I think the important thing for them is them to not get down on themselves, and it's just important for them to realize how close they are.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to be oh man, we lost another series, I give up. It's just really easy to give up.
Absolutely. But the 2 series they've lost in the last 2 weeks have been against the teams that came 2nd and 3rd in last Splits OPL.
Yeah.
So
I think for them, it's really, they could go home. I would be happy. If I was TM, I would actually be happy. I would go home and be okay, boys, sure, we lost. I'd be sad that we lost.
Yeah.
But I'd go back and say, wow, we have so much potential.
Yeah, no, I definitely. And I think that one of the huge credit points that I'll give to Johnny is that as a coach, I think that's the environment and culture is really going to foster. It's going to be focused on their growth and not defeats or losses. It's going to be about what's the next step moving forward now.
Well, yeah, maybe you'll get them on the trampoline as well during Rift Rivals. Get them in a couple of weeks. Just get, because it's probably endorphins. It's good relax.
What's this trampoline mean?
What do you mean?
Oh, Johnny used to be a trampoline coach.
He was a trampoline coach.
I didn't know that coaches existed for that, but yeah, no, he was.
Yeah,
athletic online, athletic offline.
It's an Olympic sport. It's an Olympic sport, and well, I don't think he was an Olympic coach, to be clear, but he was very, very good. He's jumping. No, offline.
IQ trampolinist.
Real
just got
bouncing.
Bouncing.
No, this is not online trampoline. This is
why
real
I know so much
trampolining.
about Zach. Let's bounce.
That's why
Johnny.
That's why Cyclone says, "Give him Zach." I've seen it before.
Very quickly before we get out of here, out of this. Let's talk about this tweet that someone sent in. They're talking about the jungle matchup. Why have we not seen? Talk through the jungle rework. Why have we not seen more play from Kindred?
Kindred just doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
So before, when Kindred was in the meta, there was nothing that could 1v1 Kindred.
Yeah.
Kindred had good scaling, good utility, and was just out and out just did a lot of damage. Kindred kind of loses skirmishes now. There's a lot of counterplay to Kindred. She's not really oppressive 1v1. She's easy to play around. She's going to go for her marks. Is it she or he? I'm sorry if I don't mean to offend anyone.
Please do not.
Let's not assume gender.
Yes,
It's a they, isn't it? Kindred's multiple.
All right. Well, they.
Yeah.
They.
It's multiple people.
They're kind of predictable in what they do. They're going for certain things, and they just don't offer much early. I mean, maybe the late game's still there, but do you want to play a late game jungler in this meta? I don't think you do.
Jish?
Yeah, so I think Kindred right now just has a slightly underwhelming early game, which is what she was good before. I think the change they most recently made to her marks made it too easy to deny them and punish her, and she really, really relied on getting the extra stats from clearing her marked camps, to get through the early game and get some ganks off. And we're just not you just don't get that at the moment.
We should also get Fish's opinion on this because Fish went and got a Kindred tattoo on his forearm.
I don't think that makes you an expert, by the way.
Absolutely. Look.
I think it does. I think it does.
All right. Well, that is our analysis of this first series, but do not go anywhere because after these hearts, we'll be back with our second match of the day. Direwolves take on Abyss.
Cupcake gets the slow.
Got him
Tether
both.
comes through. Dead. Double knock-up. First blood picked up by Only. Here comes Carbon looking to try and get in the back lines. Load being jumped up by Carbon. Using the ultimate. Gets kicked back. Still taking a lot of damage. Carbon almost falls. Tegan
Cancel
is
tip
a
in.
sitting
Oh.
duck, and Tally comes down.
Why did he go through with that? They want to go.
Carbon goes in, tries to engage, Only right behind, flash to Carbon, Cataclysm,
Nice.
big wombo
Ooh.
combo, everyone's forced to flash out of the shockwave. Only's going to try and dash back out, good lockdown to Tally, Praetor tries to jump in, jumps on a trap, good Cataclysm, but everyone just dashes back out. That's going to be Claire trying to run away, big shockwave onto the
got
front
him.
line, Cupcake's going to fall first, now Tally is a sitting duck, Chaos Storm trying to be controlled into the back lines, a good snipe coming out from Claire, 1-for-1 trade. Claire's flash is coming back up as well, so perfect timing if he wants to do so. Ultimate used by Tally, knocks one back. Only now gets a good knock-up there. He's going to take so much damage though. He is going to use the ultimate to go untargetable, will still be taken out by Carbon. Praetor stepping on the trap there, going to take way too much damage for his Lightning. Flying Drags out. Legacy looking to try and push for the first inhibitor turret of the game. And now this Elder Dragon is just going to be started by Legacy. Ultimate used by Low so early. They're looking for the steal. Only has to pull off a miracle. He goes in, can't get it. Legacy get Elder Dragon. Only stuck inside the pit as well. Tries to take the tunnel out. Will gets a big shield as well. Praetor's going in, looking for the ultimate. Decides to hold on to it a little bit longer. Not using gargoyles in time. Jumps back into Tally. Only now looking for a fight. Good root coming out from Low, but there's too much consistent damage. Big shockwave, but just barely enough damage to take down multiple members of Legacy. And the Redemption is just going to top them up.
That's game.
Legacy pushed towards the Nexus. Lowe's a sitting duck. Look at Lost! Charging further forward. Bang, bang, bang goes the sniper. Legacy, 41 minutes into this game against TM, should finally close this out.
On Legacy, you're going to get the points, and TM just so close.
So close. Much improved from TM this week. Legacy again dropping game 2 against a team that is under the 4th spot on the table.
Whilst an OPL game takes about 30 minutes to play, it's generally won from a series of plays that only take a few. Hi guys, I'm Jake Spawn Tiberiu, and welcome to the War Room. Week 2 of the OPL saw TM Gaming go up against Sin. TM's jungler Only was able to set up a double kill bottom lane within the first 3 minutes that was integral to snowballing his squad to victory. However, the play is more than a young mechanical jungler making his mark on the early game. It involved every member from TM lineup doing his part. This is a small detail, but any early game gank requires you to know exactly where the enemy jungler is. As Ryoma comes into lane with missing mana, TM's jungler knows Juves is starting his Raptor camp. Clear towards his red buff before finishing his clear on the top side of the map. With this in mind, TM's top laner Praetor will clear out his wave and ward his own jungle. This will be crucial as the play progresses, as the ward will spot out Juves and allow Praetor to avoid being dove. This provides TM's bottom lane with the safety they need to hard commit. Only races bottom lane, skipping his own blue buff, and as he enters the lane, T-Gun on Thresh flashes forward for a double play on both FBI and Rogue. Once the duo summoner spells are burnt, a death sentence secures the kill on Sin support. Generally, the play would end there, but with no summoner spells, FBI is a sitting duck. Only assists Low to push the wave into the turret before looping around for what results in a trade 2-for-1 kill. This is made even better by the fact FBI loses 15 CS worth of experience and gold, and begins what is a decisive victory for the TM squad.
Down, clapping
Wow, what
around
a
the
win.
board.
How excited are they?
TM just picked up a game over Sin.
That's it for the War Room. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.